So imagine you're a wild animal, and there's a fire sweeping across the landscape, coming at your home really fast. What do? You have three options. You're going to run, you're going to hide, or unfortunately, you're going to perish. Now, what if you're a frog? Well, you can't fly away like a bird. You can't run very fast like a mammal. You might try to hop to a pond, but the fire is going to move a lot faster than you. We don't really know how fire affects frogs, and that's where I come in. I study the effects of wildfire on frog populations. Now, you may be wondering, why fire and why frogs? Those are so specific. Full disclosure, I'm a firefighter and I love catching frogs. Boom, that's my dissertation. But there's science behind it. So let's talk about the frogs. We know that frogs are very sensitive to ecological stressors, habitat loss, disease, human encroachment. We also know that frogs are a numerically dominant vertebrate group in these ecosystems. That means they're connected in so many ways in the food web, both as prey and predator. They help keep insects down, right? Let's jump over to fire for a moment. Believe it or not, the Southeast United States evolved with fire. Those ecosystems were shaped by fire. You know those lightning storms we have in the spring and the summer? Well, long ago before development, those lightning strikes would have caused wildfires that would have completely changed the landscape and shaped the ecosystems we have today. So we need to understand how the fire that we put on the ground, and that's called prescribed fire, affects these populations. What we do as prescribed fire is we set intentional small fires in a controlled, supervised way, and then we make sure it's extinguished at the end. It's a common management tool, especially here in Florida. So as a management tool, we need to know how it affects frogs because they're such a well-connected animal group in the food chain. But frogs are tiny. They move real fast sometimes. How do we find them? What I do is I go out and I catch a lot of frogs. And I give every frog I find an individual color marker that is unique to that frog. So I go to this tree and I find a tree frog, for example, and I label him red, blue, green. And next month I come back and I find red, blue, green again, and maybe he moves over one tree or two. I can then create, using ecological modeling, a home range and a movement pattern for that species. I can do that with a lot of different individuals and create models that can be made into a conservation plan that I can give to land managers and biologists. They can use them in their existing prescribed fire programs, and we can track if they're running, if they're hiding, or if they're dying. Thank you.